hair.
Everybody's hair looks good. We're coiffed. It's a holiday.
This is a bun. Amanda's not doing much with it. So
same here. This is my just out of the shower look.
I almost did that and did the ponytail like I do, because if ever I have a ponytail, it's because I don't want to dry my hair. And then I thought, no, it's a holiday. It's our tea time, people. I'm gonna coif my hair.
See,
it looks amazing, Julie.
Yeah, I'm ponytail every day, but my no want to do hair day is a bun.
There you go. All right.
That's my car. I'll be back.
Oh, all right. Well, you're not first anyways. So Gabe's first. So, she went away completely. Oh, well. Amanda, are you staying on to do some?
Yeah, I'll be super quick though. So you all should take your time.
Okay. Excellent. Well, let's not delay. Another good week of book recommendations. Thank you all for joining on another holiday. You guys are like dedicated people. I love this. Although I have to say 4th of July is on a Monday this year.
That'll test us.
That's going to test me. It's going to test me too.
They'll test me, yeah.
Because I might be at a pool at my in-laws. So
yeah, we're live from the barbecue.
Maybe we all do it live from the barbecue.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do it live from the barbecue, poolside, little cocktails. I don't know. I'll have to see how my remote. It would be on my phone, so I'd have to see how good I am holding the phone. I'd be like.
It depends on how many cocktails. Also,
I was gonna say, juggling the phone and the cocktail.
And cocktail. I don't know if I could do that. All right, let's get going. Amanda Kessler, I'm gonna have you go last if that's okay. So we'll start with Gabe, and then I'll go Gabe, Amanda, and Tom, and then Amanda. So Gabe, I put the screen share on already, so you are set to go. What?
So I'm going to begin with a classic retelling of the Juniper Tree, the Grimm's fairy tale. Which is our book is Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. And Ava Reed wrote this really, really well-reviewed book that we published, The Wolf and the Woodsman, which was one of those Indian reduced titles, which is where all the independent bookstores, not all, but a big committee of members read a ton of stuff and then pick their favorite book that's being introduced by a new voice. And our Wolf and the Woodsman was the pick, and it did really well, got really great reviews. So now here's the second book. It's the retelling of the Juniper Tree, but it's set in another time and place within the world of the Wolf and the Woodsman. So it's a little bit of a mix here. And I don't know if you know the original story. The original story has got cannibalism and all kinds of dark matter. So this is not there's child abuse, there's cannibalism. A lot of really dark symbolism in the Juniper Tree. So here is the retelling of it from a really talented new voice. And we're really, really excited. We got a starred review from Publishers Weekly on Reed fully embraces the darkness of the original tale while adding enough twist to make the story her own. Grimm's fairy tale fans and those who like their fairy tales grim will be thrilled. So not for the faint of heart, obviously, but I think we have a really talented voice that people want to. And like I said, a lot of attention last time. Hopefully, I'll pick up the people who haven't read her yet, and you've got another book that you can go back to. So we're very excited for this one, and it goes on sale tomorrow.
So this is the author of The Wolf and the Woodsman. This is the same author. Okay. Because I think there were some booksellers even at the store, Amanda, that really like that, right? You being okay. Look, Amanda being one of them.
Yeah. Yes, I was on the panel that chose Wolf and the Woodsman as an Indies Introduce and was blown away. And this might be even better.
Even better.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
But there's nothing. I mean, Grimm's fairy tales are not for the faint of heart.
It's very visceral stuff. So if you're one of those people who appreciates the original Grimm's fairy tales, this is a really, really cool retelling.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good base. They create a good base for somebody to build around. So that's why these things got to be done over and over again.
Yeah,
they're retold because they apply to so many different eras and times and circumstances, I guess. The fairy tale.
Yeah. All right. So Sarita's asking who recommended Horse, and that would be Tom Benton, who did Horse. And she says it's an unusual book and a very good read. Sarita, I'm halfway through it right now.
And what do you think, Julie?
I really like it.
It's really good.
It's
Well
really
done.
good.
Really well done.
It's really well done. It just reminds you of why Geraldine is a Pulitzer Prize winning author and how she writes. She just tells a great story, and she's a good writer. And so, Sarita, I don't know if you've signed up yet or not, but on Thursday's event is there's free access. So go to our website. You can sign up and see her talking with Michael Lewis if you have time on Thursday. So that's going to be a really good conversation, I think. All right, Amanda B, take it away.
Yay! Okay, good. Perfect timing. Turned off the car alarm. The gardener has moved on.
Perfect.
I can unmute myself. Okay. So first up, again, all books out tomorrow. So first up, I'm super excited to present this one. I've been waiting for it to come out, and it's finally here. The Ballad of Perilous Graves by Alex Jennings. So this book is set in New Orleans. And so, of course, New Orleans lends itself to always have a little bit of the spooky mysteriousness to it. Do love New Orleans myself. So in this book, it's a place of sky trolleys and dead cabs, ghosts dance the night away, songs walk, and the spirits keep the city alive. So this is now a battle for the city's soul, ensues as two young mages, a vengeful wraith, and one powerful song is featured in this beautiful debut. I will say the first pages will just capture you in. I remember reading this and I was like, hot damn, 2 pages in, this is gonna be good. And it is so good. Fun little fact on this one too that I'd like to share is that the cover is actually an interactive cover. So if you put a Google Lens on it, the cover comes to life. So there you go, fun little tidbit there on that. So The Ballad of Perilous Graves by Alex Jennings.
What's a Google Lens? I know. Stupid.
Oh, you know, me
I've heard
too. You got the over 60 crowd here. So give us a little update on the Google Lens. Oh, Amanda, you're gonna like.
Yeah, let's be honest, the Googles know everything. But anyway, it's an app on your phone, and you hold it up to certain things, and things come to life. So there's wine label bottles that come to life.
Wow.
19 Crimes, one of my faves. They come, there's apps that make things come alive. Labels, book covers now.
Amanda has changed my life. I didn't know.
So maybe those people that are walking around the store with their cameras, they're really not taking pictures to buy it somewhere
No, they
else.
know.
They're gonna be tripping
Ready
out.
for the covers to come to life.
We've got our
I
Orbit
think
line
not, but
has most of the covers that come to life. This is one of the big ones. So yeah, Google Lens. It's an app on your phone. Super easy. Just hold it up, and then on the back side is a little interview with the author. You hold it up to the back. So a lot of our Orbit book titles.
You kids today with your hula hoops and your fax
Newfangled-
machines and your
newfangled
Google
things.
Lensers.
Gotta keep it interesting, guys. Come
I
on.
love
Gotta
it.
keep it interesting.
I love learning stuff.
Man.
See, we learn something every day.
That's right. We're a crowd that loves to learn stuff also.
Yep.
Exactly. I love this. Although I hate putting apps on my phone. I just have to say that. It drives me insane because I just have too many and it drives me nuts. But that's a whole other discussion. But anyways. All right, Tom Benton, take it away.
All right. So Tom Benton this week has a very dark book, but it's good. Gabe paved the way with, was it the Juniper? What was it was the
Juniper.
variation of the Juniper tree. What was that title?
Juniper and Thorn.
Yeah. Well, dark fairy tale quality. All right. My book is Otessa Moshfegh's Lapbone. On sale tomorrow. So in case you're not familiar, she's the author of, I think 4 novels. There was McGlue, there was Eileen, there was My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and now Lapbone with a short story collection in there as well. So she is as dark a writer, I think, as I can recall us publishing. So it shouldn't surprise anyone that this is her darkest yet. I mean,
Oh my God, seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
I think Gabe, luckily Gabe was the first to bring up cannibalism. So I'll be the second. So it's a second book to
You
feature.
guys, it's a holiday. It's Monday.
I know, I'm sorry. It is somehow timed to tomorrow and I don't know why, but so Lavona is, so our other books are set mostly in the present day, more or less. This one's set in medieval Europe. I don't really need to go into tell you. I'm not going to tell you the story, but it does feature unspeakable acts, including cannibalism. Cannibalism was on my list of unspeakable acts to mention. And it's just going to be one of the most talked about books of the summer. It already is. And I have a feeling after seeing some of the online reactions over the weekend, knives are out for Ottessa Moshfegh. I don't think it's going to matter if you've read her before. You kind of are prepared for where the dark places she's taking you. So this novel she wrote during COVID, so it does have themes of the pandemic and of being trapped in a place like this small village in Europe. She became also during COVID, not through her own efforts, she became a TikTok phenomenon. There were young women on TikTok, BookTok, who were talking about crying to A Year of Rest and Relaxation. So it'll be interesting to see how all of those fans who came to her later react to Latbona. I think you get a sense from the cover, just everything about it. The title, the cover says disturbing. But she is one of the most interesting writers around. And so not for everyone, totally get it. When the editor presented this book, he basically said, this is Ottessa taken to the nth degree.
Wow.
At least I hope this is as far as she gets. But also, she's one of these writers. She's a young writer. So just a few books, but she isn't on social media. She doesn't. I think truly, I hope genuinely, doesn't care what the world thinks. She's just doing her art, and so
I love that.
I love that about her. So prepare for the conversation. Ottessa Moshfegh's Latbona.
I love it. Beth Doherty's on here. She cracked both of us up. Cannibalism twice in one tea time.
Hasn't happened yet, but
who
you
would have
never
thought
know.
that would be the theme of the day?
I know.
Usually it's finger sandwiches.
Oh God. Where's my drums?
Oh, there is a finger scene in this book, which I won't go. But
oh my God, help me.
I'll leave it to your imagination.
You too. Tom, it kind of is this issue she's obviously Helen. I can never pronounce Helen's last. Yes. Isn't as dark, but sort of the same sort of.
Yeah, I would say so.
People who like Helen would like this too.
That's right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's hard, and it is hard to think of comparable authors. I mean, reviewers. Now, I've never read Nell Zink, but I'm pretty sure that's you, Gabe. Isn't Nell's?
Used to be. I think she's publishing with
Knopf.
Random Knopf.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they used to get reviewed kind of in the same ballpark. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. It's fascinating, but it is. I do feel like reviewers' knives are out, and it's interesting to watch.
That's what I was going to ask you about that. But before, Sarita, you're so funny. It's not a beach read. I recommended Silence of the Lambs for my sister for a beach read one time. She still talks to me, but
it's a good beach read. Just don't read it alone at night.
Exactly. You got to be inside. So, Tom, when you say knives are out, meaning that. What do you mean by that? What's that people are like really looking at this?
The reviews have been sharp. They've been like aggressively bad reviews, I would say.
Okay, interesting.
The LA Times was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So getting her for what? For the subject, or are they just going after her?
Honestly, the subject, and just sort of, I think, the relentlessness of the dark stuff that's going on, and from the reviewer's perspective, a lack of reason for it.
Nothing
almost gratuitous, but I don't think that's. I don't think that's true. I think she definitely is she's an important writer. So I think they're just. I think people are honestly tired of her success.
Yeah, that tends to happen sometimes. It's like, oh, you got up there a little too high. Let's knock you down a little
exactly. And she kind of doesn't, like I said, because she doesn't care what other people think. I think that's irritating to other writers
And let's face it, I mean, that's what some of the reviewers are. The reviewers are
Yeah.
just frustrated writers, most of them. And so it's just like, sorry if there's any reviewers watching this out
I
there.
know.
But
I honestly
that's
have
pretty
not
much
seen-
how I feel about it, Amanda.
I have
sorry.
not seen I have not seen
Sorry,
a
not
bar-
sorry.
I haven't seen a barrage of reviews like this for a major novel in a long time.
Yeah, interesting. Which makes me want to read it even more now.
I know. I don't
Yeah.
think it will matter to her fans. I think
Yeah.
she may have her most successful book yet.
Yeah, I'm always curious about like why you write like a negative review like that. It's like if
Yeah.
you didn't like the book, maybe
I
you're
mean,
gonna ask for another one, maybe, or
Yeah, exactly.
unless they demand a review. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you have to, because maybe she has to be reviewed.
Yeah, right.
So I
Well,
don't know how
and-
fair it is.
I don't think that all reviews need to be flowery. They don't need to be, but they don't
Right.
need to be, they don't need to, I don't know. I haven't read the
Well,
reviews.
and
so.
like the first review to run was Dwight Garner's in the New York Times, and he has reviewed all of her books. He is a big fan of hers. He didn't like this one as much, but he ended with saying she's one of the most interesting writers alive. So that's a fair review. Like, okay,
Right.
this one.
This
these
one
are
may
my
not have been, this
these
might
are
have been
my
too much,
criticisms of it, right?
but
But the ones over the weekend were jaw dropping.
wow. That's makes me want to read it more.
I
No
know.
publicity is bad publicity, right?
Go for it.
No
No such thing as bad. You're right.
no such thing as bad publicity. Okay,
That's what
Amanda.
they're not
as
talking
you-
about you.
Oh yeah, well, if they talk about me, then then the knives really will come out. Okay, Amanda, what do you got? You're shocked that I would call out reviewers.
I think too, a lot of booksellers are frustrated would-be authors.
Oh, I'd say that. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Reviewers for sure. Bloggers, no doubt. But it's just my
Knives
little
out.
opinion. Knives out, baby. I'm not one of those frustrated author booksellers. I admit wholeheartedly that I could never write a book. And I give hats off to anybody who can.
No desire to write.
I can't. I mean, I
No,
wouldn't,
It's not my gift.
I'm still always surprised at like how a book flows. It's like you would think after all these years I'd be like able to like, it's like, oh, look what they did there.
It's real magic. It's alchemy and hard
Magic.
work. And hard
Magic.
work.
Okay, man. What you got?
I was racking my brain. I'm like, do I have any cannibalism books? No, I don't think I do. Not right now, at least.
Perfume by my
A new
favorite,
ca- a new
Patrick
category.
Susskind.
I mean, A Certain Hunger last year, it came out in paperback last year. It's really
Oh.
good if you're
That
into
was
that.
was that unnamed press? Was that the
Yes. Yeah,
I
really
remember
good. But I did want to mention this came out last week in paperback, Mrs. March
Oh,
by Virginia Fato. I mentioned this last year when it came out and wanted to mention it now again. It is a book that if you like to be someone who shares great books first with your friends, your cohort, this is going to be made into a movie starring Elizabeth Moss in the near future. And Mrs. March was another Indies Introduced book. And it's really quite a train wreck. And it's not my usual read, but I enjoyed it so much and I was up till all hours reading and reading. There's a really good quote from Elif Bauchman, I don't know how to say her name, author of The Idiot and Either Or. She said, "I almost destroyed my life by staying up so late reading. I am lucky my house is still standing." And Constance Grady, author of Vox, said, this sums it up really well. "A vicious, gorgeous thriller, a little bit Hitchcock, a little bit Patricia Highsmith, a little bit The Yellow Wallpaper. There's a relentless build to this book, a gnawing dread that sets in early and never quite lets up. And between Fato's silver-polished sentences and her eerie psychological acumen, you don't want it to let up." So that's Mrs. March, now out in paperback. See it
Sounds
before
good.
the movie comes out.
I know that was one that was on my list and it never reached the top. And I really still want to read it because it seems like it's up my alley. in a good way.
It's an unusual one because it's from Norton. It's not
Yeah.
really what you think about when you think about Norton.
Yeah.
Very good read.
All right, thank you. Okay, Gabe, what you got next?
Another great book. That's what I got for you. So this is one that I really liked, and it comes from one of our cooler imprints. I think this is Park Row, one of our more commercial imprints. I think this is the kind of book that you can pick up and just get lost in. The premise we've seen before in fiction and in nonfiction. Young 27-year-old Sutanya Dacre moves to Paris, meets the man of her dreams, who happens to be a Parisian gentleman, and a couple years later, she moves to Paris, and then the marriage falls apart, and she decides to stay in Paris. And she is a Black woman in Paris. And, after a big breakup, a separation, divorce, it's kind of, you look at yourself as a problem, you failed somewhere, you have all those things that go through your head. So she had to rebuild her life, get a positive feeling about herself. So she started cooking dinner in a little more Montmartre kitchen for one, and slowly got to know her neighbors and got to know the communities and got to know the foods of France, and pretty soon started blogging. And now she's got a really successful food blog. And this novel is all about how all that came about through the breakup and her getting her act together, and how she began to cook and how things moved up, and how a fabulous life one can have when one loves oneself and one loves where one lives and one loves what one does. So a real positive, fun book. I've discovered travel literature. I think Innocents Abroad might have been the only travel book I'd ever read in my life. But in the last couple of years, I really just have been reading a ton of stuff, from Mark Twain to Henry Adams to Cease No Boom on Venice. I've been all over the world, all over Europe with these books. And I think this is one of those books. Like we had another little memoir last year called The London Dog Walking Agency that puts you right in the streets of London, and you just got lost in this world, and it's drizzly, and you're walking through the various neighborhoods. She does this really, really wonderful being in Paris on her own and loving life. So a real fun book. As soon as I read this, I just knew it was one of those books I was going to be talking about for a long time.
I love the travel writing too. I think it's such a great way. And I like it in the book because you can read blogs and the whole bit, but the books just give you that much more depth and things that you can really dig your teeth into on them.
And everybody likes different things. So it's kind of like,
yeah.
But everybody likes Paris.
And food.
And
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had my friend's food book last week. So
exactly. There you go. There you go. Love it. And I love that cover. I think it's a good cover. I think it's a cover that will draw a lot of people in.
Yeah.
And what's going on right now. So, all right, Amanda B, what you got?
okay, here we go. I know this is a Warwick's favorite.
Yep.
That favorite. So this is out in paperback tomorrow, but I just could not bring this back up again. So this is The 1,000 Crimes of Ming Su. So this is, part revenge, part Old West book. So this is just a really fun read. And I know Big said this was a bookseller favorite over at Warwick's. So it is basically a Chinese American assassin set out to rescue his kidnapped wife and extract revenge on her abductors. So this is the son of a Chinese immigrant in California. And so he, is part of the crime syndicate. He falls in love with his beautiful wife. And so they elope and they think they've escaped and they moved on to a different life. But of course, that does not happen. His old life comes back to haunt him and his wife gets caught in the middle. So, this is definitely a wild ride for you. So it's got a little bit of everything: thriller, romance, revenge, death. There you go. We got the death elements in here. as some of the other books. But there you go, The Thousand Crimes of Ming Su.
It was definitely a Warwick's favorite. So good. Yay, glad it's a paperback. That's one of those that I think is going to do really well in paperback for sure.
I thought there was a movie coming on that, or a TV show or something.
Oh, I had not heard that yet.
I think that was it. I'm pretty sure. It was that cover.
Yeah. All right, Tom Benton.
How do I follow up Otessa Moshfegh? So I would call her an uncompromising writer, right?
Okay. So this is somebody that compromises themselves? No.
No. This is an artist who is even less compromising.
Oh.
Wow.
Werner Herzog. This is the documentary filmmaker. He's made like 40 plus films. He's written other books, but The Twilight World is his first novel. And he's even in interviews for the book, he's even uncomfortable. Like he understands why we are calling it a novel, because it has fictional elements, but he's not comfortable calling it a novel because it really is just of a piece with the quote unquote documentaries that he's made. So it's his first book, call it his first novel. You can see that it's short. I mean, it's short and intense, and it's about this true story. So it's based on the true story of Hiru Onada, a Japanese soldier who defended a small island in the Philippines for 29 years after the end of World War II. He refused to believe that the war was over, and he was following orders for 29 years on this island. So let's call that obsession, loyalty, eccentricity. It's a lot of different things. And so in 1997, Herzog was in Tokyo to direct an opera, and they asked him if he wanted, who did he want to meet? And I think they wanted him to meet like the emperor. He was not interested. The person he wanted to meet was this man who by then, this is 20 years later after he came back to Japan. And so he actually met him. They had a rapport, they had a relationship over many years. But the book focuses really on those years in the jungle in the Philippines, and that obsessional behavior. I don't know what to call it. So, The Twilight World. It's going to be unlike anything else you've read. But it definitely like he has made films about kind of fanatical characters, real people, and this is just of a piece with all of that. Getting incredible reviews. There's a great review in the New Yorker, the New York Times, and it's just so yes, very uncompromising. He's going to do it his own way. That's Werner Herzog, The Twilight World.
Amanda Q, you seem to be excited about that one. Do you know about this one coming?
Yeah, I loved the big feature article on him in the New York Times. I think it was maybe Sunday before last.
Yeah, because this came out a week ago, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he's become a meme.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like a whole constellation of memes, really, not any single thing, but it's just really neat to see that he's sharing a new, sharing in a new medium, and I'm really
at his age and his he'll never stop. He's one of those artists of all. He's a director of opera, director of films, and now and he's been a writer, but this is the first novel. It is cool.
I love it. All right, Amanda Q, what do you got for us?
I'll put the article on him in the comments here. Another book that came out in paperback that if you didn't read it in hardcover, I would recommend Bertozeki, The Book of Form and Emptiness. Nancy Warwick loved this book as well. And I'll just say, you might read about it and look at it and think it's about one thing, but it's such a hard book to classify. So I would just say, if you've read Bertozeki before and you missed this one for whatever reason, pick it up. It's so good. The characters are so good, and this is another one that kept me up till the wee hours because I really didn't want to put it down. So out in paperback now.
And didn't she just win
tomorrow?
She won the
women's prize?
Women's prize, yeah.
Women's prize for fiction.
Just
Yeah, she just won that. Yeah, she just won that last week.
Yeah.
See, trolling all kinds of stuff.
And,
Oh, and there's a blurb from Matt Haig on the front if you're a Midnight Library fan. A triumph.
I
It's
love,
really
of
good.
course, I love this book too. I love it. I love Ruth. And so I'm so happy it's coming out now because it is in a way, it's not your average summer read, but it's good solid summer reading. And we could have waited till September, which is when we published the hardcover, but we're getting it out now so we can find more readers. Obviously, we didn't know she was going to win the women's prize, but that's even better.
Yeah. Beth,
Yeah.
I'm glad Beth saw that she won that too. So yeah, I'm looking forward. Yep. So, okay. We're going to lightning round. Gabe, start us off.
Was trying to sneak something in there, but I will go with my original
Ooh, changing your mind.
at the last minute because I have a kid's book I want to talk about. But so I'm going to share my screen, and this is not the book I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm going to be sharing not that. Sorry. Where'd you go? Crud. Sorry. You have a second. Did I delete my thing?
Oh, the suspense.
Right.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Okay, now I'm back. 100%.
Is there an app we could use that would bring this to life?
Oh
No,
my!
it's,
Wow.
Being a geriatric, we don't need those. We don't have those things. We like to let our art speak for itself.
I like it. Oh, ouch.
So-
Ooh, ah.
I have to talk about, we recently purchased Houghton, Mifflin, Harcourt. Beginning of the year, we acquired them in the last year. They came into the fold earlier this year. A really nice publishing house that complements our list very nicely. And I'm so excited because Ellie Griffiths is one of the authors that they've been publishing a lot lately. She's got a couple of series going on. I'm not that hip to what's been happening, but I have been keeping up with Ellie Griffiths for a long time. I read her first book in a galley form. I read the second book in a galley form. So I've been a big fan of hers for a really long time. And the Ruth Galloway series is the series that I've been following. And she's a forensic archaeologist in England. It looks, I think it was, I recall, the northeastern coast of England on that side of I guess the eastern side of the island. And it's all about always stumbling upon, in one case, it was these underground poles that were stuck in the ground, wooden kinds of, ritualistic places that had been buried in peat and moss. Anyway, she just always comes up with a really cool, in this particular book, it's Bronze Age artifacts have been found and discovered by some amateur archaeologists, which Ruth really hates. So she's got a really great relationship early on with a cop that is very intimate, and I just love the world that she creates. The characters, Ruth Galloway characters, are really wonderful character to follow, and the situations are just really interesting and fun. So you have a really taut, well-written mystery, and along the way, there's plenty of cool archaeological facts about London. And I'm a big Anglophile and Francophile and Italophile and Sinophile. So I love this kind of stuff that's kind of culturally based. So she digs in. So they makes it just really, really a lot of fun and a real interesting read, aside from just getting a really cool mystery to read. You
Before
get a
you go
little.
anywhere, what was that last one you were going to show? What was that fourth one?
It was a kid's book by Joanna Ho.
Okay, I'll just squeeze into lightning round.
I have to do that now, 'cause
Yeah.
it'll be lightning. Anyways, she's the woman who published Isaac Kiss at the Corner of the Picture book that we did really well with. And this is her first middle grade novel that we got
Okay.
a really incredible package on. She's a really, really rare talent. And I was just able to post the Kirkus Starred Review and the Publishers Weekly Starred Review. So that's the kind of author that we have.
Awesome.
With our girl Joanna Ho, so it's easy
So-
to recommend for
so
this
Beth-
8 to 12-year-old.
Beth is on here, Gabe. She says she LOV in capitals Ellie Griffiths Ruth's Galloway series. So glad you brought that one up.
Oh, glad.
Yeah. There we go. All right, Amanda B, what do you have for our lightning round?
Okay, so here we go. We have American Desi. And I apologize in advance. I'm going to totally butcher these names for Joyti Rajan Gopal and Supriya Kelkar.
I think you did well.
I apologize profusely for that. So here we go. It is a beautiful picture book, American Desi. And what I love about this book is that it is actually collage. We don't see too often collage work. And so in this book, so some of the images I have here, but it's all about a girl, a young Indian American girl who is learning to learn her Indian roots, but also, fit into this American world that she lives in. The texture within the illustrations of the collage work here are beautiful. You can see the texture fabrics throughout, and it's just absolutely stunning to look at this as well. And again, just a very cute, charming little story that we have here of American Desi.
Love it. Okay.
Horrible.
Tom, what do you got?
All right, I'm gonna change it up from my previous picks, in a very, very big way, because we need some relief from the darkness of those earlier books. So this is a book called Every Summer After, and it's been out for about a month. And what's cool about it, it's not relying on, we talked about reviewers and reviews before. This is not getting it's not getting reviewed. What it's getting is word of mouth, readers telling other readers, you got to read this book. And I think this cover is just selling the book on its own. So it's set in Canada. It's a love story. It's about falling in love when you're young, falling out of love, and then falling back in love. So Percy and Sam were inseparable, and they'd spent 6 summers going to this place on Barry's Bay year after year and falling in love. But then they had a big breakup. Now Percy's, she's in the city. She's a magazine editor. Has left him behind, she thinks, until she goes back home for Sam's mother's funeral. And they try to work all the mistakes they made. They find their way back to each other. So it's and it takes place over those six years, as well as, but really condensed into one weekend. So in that way, it reminds me, I'm sure if you like The Paper Palace, you would like this book, because it feels very similar in its structure to The Paper Palace. Emily Henry on the cover calls it a radiant debut. So I'm sure readers of Emily Henry. This is truly a great summer read. And readers are finding it. And Warwick's is already just I don't know if anyone there has read, any booksellers have read it, but you lead Warwick's leads my territory in sales. Could be from bookseller love, or it could just be, it just is selling itself.
Yeah.
So that's Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. It's a paperback original.
Okay.
And so it's been out for, as I say, about a month, and it's a debut. So it's exciting.
That's interesting that we're leading. It's got somebody at the store either read it, or like you said, it's word of mouth if it's got a TikTok. But we do have, people, it's a vacation town, so I think people might be grabbing it that way too. So it sounds like it's a good like vacation read kind of thing. So because it's got a great cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, love that. All right, Amanda Q, what do you got?
Looks like maybe it could be a Laura book. I bet. I wonder if Laura has read it.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
A book. This is different from my others. This is not in paperback. This is just coming out tomorrow. Very excited. An Immense World by Ed Young. He is an extraordinary science writer. His first book, I Contain Multitudes, we've sold tons of it through hardcover and paperback at Warwick's. Pulitzer Prize winner. This is a book about how animal senses reveal the hidden realms around us. So Sarita, if you're still on, I think you might like this book. So yeah, I really don't need to say too much about this. If you're into science writing, he is an author of the highest caliber in the genre. So you should get this book for sure.
I think Sarita was right there with you. She said that should be great. Don't know if she's talking about Tom's book, your book, but we'll take it for both of them.
But
All
Ed Young
right.
is amazing. And I thought, like, I follow him a lot about COVID, right, in the Atlantics.
Yeah.
But then I was relieved when I read the reviews of this that it isn't about COVID.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for spending the animal book, she said. Yeah. Sorry, Tom.
Win some, you lose some.
Exactly. That's how it goes sometimes with this. So just kind of throw them all out there and they'll stick somewhere. So thanks everybody for joining us on a holiday. We actually had some good people watching out there. So thank you all for joining us, and go enjoy the rest of your day off if you have a day off. And we'll see everybody. I'm going in for eye surgery on Wednesday. So I might be with an eye patch on next time.
Oh, Julie with an eye patch.
I'll do my favorite. No, I will not do a pirate.
No, you have to.
That would be disrespectful to pirates. You
I
can't.
know,
do that.
so I have to take that into consideration. So
You
the
don't wanna
hard
get-
part is I can't wear makeup for eye makeup because I can't take it off. I can't wear makeup for like a week or 2 weeks. It's like, that's going to kill me because I look like I'm just like half asleep if I don't have eye makeup on. So, or more asleep, I should say. Anyways, thanks, Beth. Yeah, it should be good. We'll see how it goes. So everybody have a good week, and we'll see you
Bye, everyone.
all next Monday. Bye, everybody.